conversation. Before I begin, I do want to disclose to you all, full disclosure, we hold a tiny, almost infinitesimal amount of stock option in Nio. Yeah, it's very tiny. And so I wanted to begin that way because some people will say, oh, you're only saying this because it might financially benefit you in some type of way. And that's not why we're saying this. Not at all. I would say this if I didn't own anything. Period. Because this is not really based off of me or any other individuals. This is looking broadly at the circumstances and then determining, based off of those circumstances, what I can most likely foresee happening in the future. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about it. You know, the electric vehicle market, it's a relatively new market that's really gonna take off very, very soon. Yeah, I think they said by 2030, something like that, in Europe, electric vehicles will outnumber combustion fuel vehicles. It's crazy. Yeah, think about that. By 2030 in Europe. It's something like by 2028 that's going to happen in China. And then by 2036, it's predicted to happen here in the United States. So, any way you slice it, electric vehicles, most of us will be operating an electric vehicle in the very near future. That's not all that long from now. Yeah, that's about a decade, in some cases shorter than a decade. So this market is going to accelerate at a rapid rate. Now, you got some players in the game. I think more will get into the game. For sure. More players are going to get into the game. But we're only basing this off of what now is the case. You have Tesla, okay? It's very popular in the States and in Europe, and for the most part in China. Tesla is very popular. However, you all, there is an electric vehicle that's really going to put Tesla to shame. It really is. And it's Nio. Yeah. Now, this is purely based off of people who kind of are car enthusiasts. Also, they love AI, artificial intelligence. And so those people who have Teslas, who, kind of gone and done some research on Nio, they're like, it's not even close to competition. Yeah, it's not even close. For one, Nio, the car, yeah, just the car itself, it's mind-blowing, you all. It really is. Anything you can think of, that car probably more or less can do it. Yeah, you want a massage? The car will give you a massage. Yeah. You want to change the interior of the colors inside the car? Yeah. It'll allow you to do all that. You want to take a selfie? Yeah, you can take a selfie. And you know, here's what's crazy, you all. This car, already last year, it won gold in Germany. Yes, some German car company that awards the best vehicles, it just came out. And Germany is like, yeah, hands down, it's the best. Yeah. The AI, I think they call it Nomi. When I saw it, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna tell you all any lies. You know, Nio, this is a fact. They built a plant, a car plant, the size of 9 football fields in 1 year during COVID. Yeah. And so this plant is fully automated. Yeah. The size of 9 football fields. And now, recently, because I keep up with some news that goes on elsewhere too. You know, folks just keep up with the news here. But I like to stay abreast of all the information. You recently had the People's Republic of China, the government, lay out a 17-point plan where they're going to spend unlimited amounts of money in certain industries. One of the industries they named was transportation. We happen to know that the CEO of Nio is kind of cozy with a lot of officials. You have the government saying they're going to invest heavily. You already know what's about to transpire. Yeah. They're going to probably give billions of dollars to that company. Now, China has multiple EV companies. Multiple. But Nio, it's cutting edge. I'm not going to lie. Can Tesla compete is the question. Possibly. They possibly can compete. I'm not going to say they cannot. But look, that's why when their CEO went over to China and met with the staff, the Tesla staff, they ran back after they saw the competitor and they went to the United States government and they said, hey, look here, regulators, you're going to have to give up some of these things. We need to get the ball rolling on AI because our competitors are light years ahead of us. And look, don't take my word for it. I'm talking about other Western people who own Teslas saying that when they saw and test drove a Nio, it puts Tesla to shame. Yeah, it really does. And so now the investments are going to come. China has already said they're going to kind of play fast and loose with a lot of the minerals that are needed, the rare earth materials that are needed for EVs. fast and loose with it. Meaning they're going to hold back a lot of it for their companies. And plus they're going to dump billions of dollars into their own companies. What I can foresee happening, you all, I'm not going to say it's going to happen right away, but a lot of the folks that are working in that Shanghai plant for Tesla, they're going to be paid off to go and work for one of the in-house companies. More than likely, Nio. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I see it. Whenever you have a government saying they're going to invest, you know they're going to kind of rig things. When I hear investment, I hear rigging. Is it fair? No. But life isn't fair. Yeah, life isn't fair. And so, a lot of this happened because folks didn't know what was really going on. You gotta remember, China was on lockdown. Nobody could get in there. So now, since people have traveled over there this year, and they see what the competitors have done, I'm telling you, everybody is spooked. They're like, this is... Take my word for this, you all. Nio is going to leapfrog Tesla by leaps and bounds. Now, they're not in the American market yet, the North American market yet. But you can only imagine once they get here and folks have that Tesla, and then they go and compare it to Nio. Ball game is over. There is no comparison, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, it's over with. Well, I think that's why they're also trying to build that plant really quickly in India, Tesla. Because they probably know that that Shanghai plant is in jeopardy. Yeah, that's in real jeopardy. You know, he agreed to the common prosperity principles, the CEO of Tesla, but everybody knows that Tesla is mostly an American car manufacturing company. Yeah. And so it would stand to reason that if you got 3 EV companies already in your country, why would you, as a government, really want to see a company that's really associated with America kind of continue to do well? Yeah, you're going to try to rig it in your favor of the companies that are in-house. Yeah. Based off of what I've seen and what other people are saying, the competition is not even going to be close, you all. It's going to be Nio by a lot. Yeah. The only thing now that we have to wait and see about is if Nio can produce a lot of cars like Tesla can. You know, most of Tesla's cars that are being manufactured are coming from Shanghai. Can Nio get up to par and produce the type of numbers Tesla is producing? That's still yet they start producing a lot of cars, I don't see a way Tesla can compete. I really don't. Tesla looks like a toy in comparison to a Nio. That ET7, the Nio ET7, it's immaculate. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's really a nice vehicle. It's really a good car. And you know, I was like thinking, eventually I'm going to have to get me one of these electric vehicles. We all are. It's better for the environment. The battery kind of thing is iffy because, you don't know how long the battery is going to last you. And then the charging, there's not really enough charging stations in this country or anywhere for that matter. People are going to have to retool their homes, like with the solar power and all of that kind of shit. So there's a lot of infrastructure that still needs to be built around electric vehicles before all of us can just hop on board and say, hey, we're making a transition. But you know it's coming. It's just like the horse and buggy. And then we move to the Model T and the automobile. It's the same type of transition that we're in now. Everybody knows that's what's occurring. And if I'm looking out over the land, over yonder, I never really liked Tesla to begin with. I don't care too much for the CEO, but that's that. I'm just talking about the vehicle itself. I'm like, there's Radian. That's an electric vehicle. Canada has a bunch of electric vehicle companies as well. Look into that. But Nio, I haven't seen a vehicle quite like it. It's superb. It really is. It's cutting edge. When you talk about cutting edge, it's cutting edge. The type of technology in there, wow. Yeah. I'm like, it's mind-boggling. You all go and look at it. I mean that. Go and just check it out and look at it. They have a headquarters, I think, out in San Jose, California. But you can't really purchase any Nio cars yet in America. When they open that market, and Tesla really does have some competition in this country, it's game over. It's going to be game over because folks who are drivers of Tesla, who are Tesla owners, when they compare that to Nio, they're all going to want a Nio. One person, I don't know where they are, they said they had pre-ordered a Tesla and they canceled it and said they're going to purchase a Nio. They'll just have to wait a little bit longer. And these things are retailing for like a little bit over $62,000 US. So they're kind of pricey and out of a lot of folks' price range. But eventually, as more and more are being made and manufactured, the prices are going to lower and lower and lower. Yeah. It's a really good car, you all. I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. It's a really, really good car. Yeah, just the exquisite details, every little detail you can think of, somebody thought of it and put it into that car. Yeah. Who would think to have heated massage seats in the rear? Yeah. Yeah. And the driver's seat. Look, they couldn't even tell you all of the specifics in the Nio vehicle because of, licensing policies and regulation policies between North America. But it's like night and day, a Nio versus a Tesla. Any Tesla owner that has a Tesla and drives a Nio, they're going to want the Nio, and they're going to be like, you can throw this Tesla away. I'm telling you right now. It's the hardest investment, yeah. Whether you purchase the car or invest in the stock, this is it. Yeah, this is where it's at. And now that you know that the government, look, even before the government announced this, Nio had built a plant the size of 9 football fields. Now that they're going to be getting bankrolled by the government, what the hell do you think now they're about to do? Think about that. They did that without the government's help. Now the president of China says, I'm going to invest God knows how much. Look, it's not like here where you have divided government and people haggle and scream and don't want to do anything. When you have one party rule, which is the case in China, the entire party can just say, give this company $49 billion. And the company gets $49 billion the next day. That's it. And so, if Nio is the chosen puppet of the government, which I believe it will be for a number of reasons, it's game, set, match, point. I'm just telling you all now. So when it does happen, you heard it here first. It's already a fantastic car, but now they're fixing to get invested in by the government. You know, they can do a lot of things to rig it in their favor. They can say from now on, everybody in the government, that's the car that we're going to choose to electrify all of our fleets of government vehicles. We're going to do a contract with Nio. They can do it like that. Yeah. Just like that, they can say, from now on, all of our government fleet operated vehicles, they're going to have to be Nio electric vehicles. And then that's already, think of that type of money that they're going to be generating. That's a ready set customer base, yeah. And they can do that with a lot of different entities. If you have postal service, they can say, the postal vehicles, we're going to give you a contract to make postal vehicles using Nio as the company. See, so when government gets involved, they can really rig it in your favor. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they can really rig it in your favor. And you have to remember, in 2008, 2009, our government bailed out Tesla. Tesla was about to go broke. Yeah. And the Obama administration bailed them out. Yeah. And so our government rigged it in Tesla's favor. Because at the time you didn't have too many electric vehicle companies. And Tesla was this new hot commodity. They were saying, we're going to do electric vehicles. You had the Prius, but that was a hybrid. Tesla was all electric. And so the American government said, yeah, let's invest in this. Make sure it stays afloat. And that's what happened. And so people can't complain now that China is doing the same thing. Because all governments, in essence, do that. If something is in beneficial favor to them, they're going to invest in it. So I'm not going to disparage China for doing what we or any country would do. If you have a company in-house, you're going to invest in the in-house company. Period. End of story. Does Nio really need the investment? You know, nobody's going to turn down money. But Nio has already done all of these impressive feats without the government. So it's not like anybody can say, oh, well, if they surpass Tesla, it's because they're a welfare recipient. Let's be honest, Tesla is a welfare recipient in 08, 09. Nio might become a welfare recipient in 2023, 2024. But Nio, just like Tesla, are really great electric vehicles. Don't get me wrong, Tesla is a great electric vehicle. It's really superb. It's cutting edge. It's just not up to par with Nio, though. It's just not. And that's a fact, you all. And so if I had to judge right now, based off of what's on the market, if I was in the market right now, today, for an electric vehicle, I would purchase a Nio. I wouldn't do Tesla. You say you can't buy a Nio in America right now. I would wait. By 2025, you may be able to purchase a Nio in the States. Yeah. I would just wait. I wouldn't get something that I don't think is the best. If I really wanted the best electric vehicle, now if you don't care about acquiring the best, go right ahead, purchase a Tesla. They're really good vehicles, I'm not gonna lie. But if you're talking about the best, like Germany said in 2022, if you're talking about the best electric vehicle, that's Nio. That ET7, you look at it. The specs are off and out of this world. Yeah, just the specs are crazy. I think when folks went over there and saw that, they were like, no. They like had to do a double take. They're like, you shitting me. Yeah. There's nothing they didn't think of is what I'm telling you. And anything they didn't think of because they couldn't afford to, they're going to put in that shit now because they're getting ready to get a shit ton of money. So if there's anything that a customer says, hey, this would be cool if you had this as a feature, they're fixing to put it in there now because China is fixing to bankroll them to the moon and beyond. Yeah, Neo is fixing to go to the moon. Yeah. When moon, as some of these people like to say, Neo is going to go to the moon. Really, they can go to the government of China and say, hey, we need this much money, and China will cut the check. You know, there are some benefits to having one party rule. We're going to maybe have to think about this whole divided government kind of shit, because you see, nothing is getting done with this. Nothing is getting done with divided government anymore in America. And so maybe the takeaway from this is, if we want to remain flexible and nimble, if you all want the Republican Party, give them complete control. If you want fascism, give them control. But if you want the Democrats and to get things done, then give them complete control. Because this divided government where you can't get anything done is just constant gridlock. Your competitors are going to be able to get everything done instantaneously. And so if I'm the CEO of Tesla, I'm pretty pissed at the regulators too. Because a lot of it has to do with the gridlock in DC. Yeah. They just don't have that issue in the People's Republic of China. Anything Neo wants, I'm telling you how it's going to be. Anything Neo wants in terms of a dollar figure or yuan figure, as they call it over there. If they say we want X amount of yuans, the People's Republic of China, the Communist Party, is going to write them that check right then and there. And they're going to put that money to work. Period. Yeah. I personally think they're going to try to get all of those people in Shanghai that's working for Tesla, and they're going to try to get them to work for me. That's what I personally think. Hey, you're talking competition at the highest level. That shit is ruthless. I don't care what anybody says or tells you, it's ruthless. Put it down. You heard it here first. Between 12 and 18 months, I guarantee you that Shanghai plant that's producing all of those Tesla vehicles, a lot of those workers, not all, but a lot of them, will be working for Nio. Yeah. They're just going to buy a lot of folks off. Yeah. Tesla says, we can pay you this. Nio is going to be like, we can pay you 2 times what Tesla is paying you. Come work for us. And those workers might have proprietary information. Yeah. So any proprietary information that those Tesla workers might have, the competition is going to get it, because they're just going to pay the competition more money to come and work. This is the way it works, you all. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's the way it works. And so me knowing that that's the way it's going to go, I'm telling you, get in now. Nio is the future. That just, yeah. When I saw those vehicles, I said, yeah. And if you're really wanting the best, it's the best. It's the best. It is what it is. If anybody tells you that Tesla is better than Nio, they're a liar. Because the CEO of Tesla doesn't even think his car is better than Nio. That's why he ran to those regulators. As soon as he got back from China, he ran to the U.S. regulators and said, hey, we need to get moving on AI quickly. Because what they're doing with their cars, it makes my car look like junk. Yeah, just the driving, how it drives, the steering wheel, everything, you all. It's superb. I'm not gonna lie. I want me a Nio. I don't want a Tesla. I'm telling you. I want me a Nio. I don't want a Tesla. If you know something is leaps and bounds ahead of something else, you're not gonna want second place, third place. You're gonna want first place. That's why Germany gave it the Gold Award in 2022. Go look into that. Go look into that. Germany, they're all about cars. And Germany is Western. So it would have been very easy for a Western country to say, hey, Tesla is number one. We're giving gold to Tesla. But as objective car enthusiasts, they looked at both vehicles and they're like, it's not even close. Yeah. And Nio has got something else going in his favor. It's not just a car company. It's a way of life kind of brand. So they're doing things around the car, but it's also a lot of things that just are kind of comfort for living. That's different from any other car company, really, that I know of. No other car company really focuses on a way of life kind of thing. So they have a lot going for them. Congratulations to the CEO. You know, I think his company, that car, Nio, I think it's going to be a winner. It's the future. Yeah, Nio is greater than Tesla. You heard it here first. Nio is definitely greater than Tesla. By leaps and bounds. It's not even close. And any observant, fair-minded arbitrator, somebody that's not biased, completely objective, they'll tell you the same thing I told you. And that's a fact.